David Cloninger, Posted Courier. Lay 16 points all in the second half, then 23 for the game. Just did you feel like you were in takeover mode? Did you feel like you had to be in that for this game?
I wouldn't really say takeover. I think I just honestly just went out there and just try to help my team get closer to our next goal, which is the Elite Eight, and I think I did that well. Damn, bad response.
We'll go right here to the left.
Kareem Copeland, Washington Post, Malaysia. Was there a moment that you kind of felt like you needed to do more? Because it seemed like you kind of, like what he was kind of hinting at, kind of went into that mode of, okay, we need me, let's pick it up right now.
Yeah, I think every game I kind of feel like I need to do more. My teammates, they kind of tell me every game that I need to be on top of my game, do what I do best, which is driving or just scoring, period. So I think today I kind of just was locked in and determined and kind of really straightforward with what I wanted to do, which is score. You're welcome.
We're going to go right here on the aisle.
Lulu Kessin, the Greenville News. Chloe, when we were in Greenville, we were talking about how a lot of people don't realize how tough basketball is mentally, how mentally it's a huge part of it. Could you walk through kind of the mental strength it took to pull out that win? Obviously, those 2 clutch free throws from you at the end there, and just the highs and lows of everything that went into this game.
I mean, basketball, just in general, it's very mental. It's more mental than actual basketball. People don't really realize that. In the game, we kind of just realized our highs and lows, and towards the end of the game, we came together, and we knew what we had to do, and that was locking in on defense, and I wasn't the only one who hit clutch free throws late. Did Breezy did, Sanaya did, so that was really good for us.
Go to the front.
Destiny with the Juice Network. Can you guys talk about the shift going into the fourth quarter to take over and go with the lead?
Chloe, if you'll start with that.
Going into the fourth quarter, I just feel like I said, we just kind of, coach talked to us and kind of relaxed us. We need to relax and get more on the flow on offense. And then Lay, she had great moves to the basket, and she was making our layups for us, and that was really good for us. And then rebounding. Our rebounding was also very good. So, I mean, Maryland's a great team, and we're just happy we got that win.
MiLaysia, if you would answer.
Oh, yeah, what she said. I think basketball is kind of really about a game full of runs, and I think we kind of made a lot of runs towards the start of the third quarter, right? That's what you asked? Fourth, yes, towards the start of the fourth quarter. So I think we all was just intentional with what we wanted to do, which is win this game, and we all had that mindset of we have to go out there and do whatever it's going to take to help us win this game. And I think our fans also helped a lot with it.
Mm-hmm.
The aisle right here.
Andrea Adelson with ESPN.com. MiLaysia, just following up on what you were being asked, some of the plays you made, whether it was the spin move, dish to Powell, behind the back and score. I think a lot of people here were like, the crowd went a little bit crazy when they saw some of those plays. How would you kind of describe what you were feeling in those moments when you made plays like that?
Just score, get the ball in the hoop, honestly. I kind of seen a double team a little bit once I crossed the half-court line on my transition move, so that let me know that someone was open. And then on the behind-the-back pass, I actually did it because they were like, come on, she's not gonna score this, like mid-play, and then I just let my confidence finish the rest, and it went in. So I was kind of excited to just prove my haters wrong.
Far right.
Cooper Burke for USA Today. How did you guys try and keep your momentum with the stops and starts and the reviews? How did you guys keep a level head and try and keep pushing through that?
I think we all just had to lock in and be focused. I mean, we'd rather stay here for longer than we want to than to be home. So, I mean, nothing is long when you're in March Madness. You want to be on the court as long as you can. I mean, that's what it's all about. And we just was all in the moment. We met the moment, and we were just sitting in the moment. If the refs needed to go review a play, we were fine with that. They gave us more time to work on what we were going to do next play, whether that's offense or defense.
Very back.
Joe Machiga with the Big Spur. Both of you guys pulled out Euro steps in the fourth quarter. Chloe, you pulled out first, and then Lay, it kind of looked like you kind of copied it. Where did that move come from? Was it kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing? And then Lay, what were you trying to do when you copied it?
I don't know. That was my high school bag. So I was like, let me do a Euro. And I didn't even. You did a Euro?
I copied you, apparently.
I want to copy hers though. Shoot.
I don't know. I'm just trying to score, really.
Yeah.
Chloe kind of gave me an idea.
Any questions from anyone on Zoom? Okay, ladies, you're dismissed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kennington Lloyd Smith III with The Athletic. Yesterday, MiLaysia said that she's felt like she's done a better job of internalizing the coaching that you've been giving her, and it's made a difference. How have you seen that, in the last couple of weeks, and how did that kind of manifest itself in the game today?
I mean, Lay just wants to win. So this is probably the time that she locks in a little bit more than others, because it's win or go home. I mean, there was an instance in this game where I got in her big time. And she was able, like she 2 months ago, she wouldn't be able to recover from it. 2 months ago, shut down, we probably would have lost the game because she was the only one that could really, manufacture her own shots and make baskets. But she just wants to win. And I think in those moments is when I feel like I can coach her the most, where she'll listen the most. And then, she'll go back tonight and just kind of reprocess, what happened. And then, we'll talk about it maybe tomorrow, maybe another time. But she's grown to the fact where, it gets hot. It gets hot. Everything's not, spoken in a soft tone. Like it is, the kitchen gets hot when you're trying to survive in the NCAA tournament. So she's got to handle that, and because it's not just going to be me. Her next coach in the WNBA is going to scream too. Like it's what we do. It's our livelihood. It is to get their attention, and I'm glad she responded.
Very front.
Dawn, I think there was one play when you put Lay back in final 3 minutes where I think you were maybe motioning to slow down the offense. Then she got to the basket and laid it in. Just, do you remember that play? I think I saw you clapping a little bit afterwards. Just, I know you've seen this for 2 years, but how, just does it keep blowing your mind about how she's able to do that so easily?
Well, I mean, I expect it. Actually, I really do. I expect her to do the things that she was doing out there for us. I don't know how it's going to look, because it looks a lot different than most. Because she's got a lot of gall to try some of the stuff that she does, but it's just part of who she is, and it's hard to guard, and it's hard to, double, because she's got really good court vision, and she's got really good ability to make layups in traffic, passes in traffic. I mean, her three is pretty good as well, so I think she's just continuing to grow, and the bigger the stage, I think the more she wants to shine.
Front row.
Hey, Coach. Destiny with the Juice Network. Can you speak on what you're telling your team to keep the momentum going into the second half?
Did we have momentum? I just wanted to get a unit out on the floor that could resemble what we practice and how to execute our game plan. It just wasn't working with the combination of players that we had in the first and second quarters. And then the third quarter, we went back to our starters, and it just really didn't feel right, just the fluidity of it. And then, if it's that kind of game, I think Lay is probably the perfect guard that you can call on, to manufacture points. And she did that. And I thought she did a really good job at on the other end of the floor, not dying on screens and, chasing them over the top of screens. And then, everybody just started to flow around her. And we haven't really had to play that way a whole lot. So it was a little bit different, but refreshing to know that, we can call on a youngster and she can come through for us.
Second row right here.
Andrea Edelson with ESPN.com. It's 2 games in a row now where you've been challenged and tested and had to come back to win games. What have you learned about this group as they've been able to do that?
Yeah, we're a resilient group. I mean, I mean, we people thought we had the easiest region. I didn't think so. It's not easy at all. It gets harder because we got to play Duke. I just think our team has been through so much. Like they're unshakable. They're unflappable. Our conference gives us a lot of credit. A confidence to be able to be in a tight-knit game and find a way to win, because that's what it's about at this stage of the game. Is it ugly? Yes. Are people going to say, this doesn't look like a national championship team? Well, I mean, we didn't look like one last year to most in the beginning of the season. Probably didn't look like one. We looked like one in 22. 17, we didn't look like one. So I think if we're back to where we don't look like one, and hopefully we can win it, and then we can even it out.
Hey, Don, Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. You said you had to get into her a little bit big time. What was the scenario? When was that? And what kind of caused you to kind of have those stern words?
It's more, when I get on Lay, it's more of, does she take bad shots? Yes. I mean, she makes a living off of making bad shots, which is good. Everybody's not capable of doing that. You can take bad shots and you can never make the bad shots. She makes them. I just like when you take a bad shot, or if you miss a shot, that you get back on defense and you execute like we need to execute. So she was dying on screens a little bit, and then, the guards were posting her up and she was playing behind and allowing just direct entry passes into her player. And we just can't afford to do that, not against a team that works well around the paint with their big guard. So it was just correcting that part of it. And she took it and found a way to really respond, and I'm most proud of that.
Right here on the aisle.
Hey, Dawn, Doug Feinberg, the AP. Just to follow up, was that in the first half when you laid into her, or was it third quarter, if you remember?
No, I think that was third quarter.
Okay, and the other one was the last 3 minutes. I think you were down one with 3:25 left. They didn't score until Sailors 3 with 25 seconds left. The defense, can you talk about what the job you guys did in that when the game was on the line, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, that's our normal defense. If we would have connected those possessions early in the basketball game, we might find ourselves with a little bit of a bigger lead. But we were down at that point, and we had to lock in. I thought our assistant coaches did a great job at just suggesting to put different players in, substituting offense for defense, and then getting Breezy in because she's our defensive stopper. 'Cause she sat, I think almost a whole quarter. Probably 10 minutes within the third and fourth quarters. We got her back in. Our players just want to win. Do they want to play? Yes, they want to play. Everybody would love to be in a game at the end of the game, but some of them perform better in those situations, and it's a game-by-game situation for us. But we locked in and defended because we didn't want to go home.
Hey, Chapel Fowler at the State. Dawn, we saw you have a few animated conversations with the refs. How would you assess today's officiating and maybe how it impacted the game flow today?
I mean, the officials have a hard job. Like, they got a really hard job. I don't even have thick enough skin to do their job. The animation was probably more we have a jokingly conversation rather than really a heated conversation. They were really good at just communicating out there on the floor, and that's why they're officiating in the Sweet 16, and probably some of them on their way to the Final Fours, because they're able to handle those type of situations, communicate with the coaches in a way that just really de-escalates the situation. But they have to do that. They're being graded. They can't just say, okay, it's 0.5, the game is in hand. They can't do that because, ignoring those situations will decrease their opportunity to go further in the NCAA tournament.
Hi. Kiana Nelson-Shine with The Athletic. You spoke on thick enough skin. I had the pleasure of meeting Kristen LaPaz, who directed your biopic and also did an excellent job on Giannis' documentary. Although Columbia is now home and Philadelphia is your foundation, it's no secret that Philadelphians are tough, resilient people. What else are you looking forward to people learning in your biopic about the role Philadelphia has played in who you are and how you've built this team to sustain the tournament? I think I said something wrong.
I'm going to get back with you on that one. I don't think that's supposed to be out there like that. I'll get back with you.
Okay, our last question is going to be on Zoom for Jonathan Dobbins.
Jonathan Dobbins from Light On College Sports. Coach Staley, your bench outscored your starters today. Can you talk about the importance of having a bench to rely on in crucial moments this late in March?
Yep. I mean, our bench, they do a really great job at just when they're inserted into the game, they're able to play more free than our starters. I mean, starters have a job to do. They got to get us off to a great start. They have to execute the game plan at the start of the game. They have to be the example of how we need to play, especially from a defensive standpoint. And then when our reserves come in, the tone is set. They lift the tone. They are probably a little bit younger. They're able to get up and down the floor a little bit freely and play free, because the amount of freedom that they have, the starters don't have it. And if I told the starters that our reserves, our bench players come in and they play with a certain freedom, they might want to come off the bench and play with that same freedom. But it's important. I mean, you cannot win a national championship without having depth. You can't. I think I used to recruit and say, hey, come help me win a national championship, right? Until you've won, you really don't know. And then when you've won them, what's the commonality. We've had depth. We've had health. Like when we were at our most healthiest, we win. Like we win a whole lot of basketball games. So knock on wood, we have that, and I hope that we can utilize that on Sunday afternoon when we have to play a really good Duke team.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.